Spring onions are always a great option to add in a lot of food that we make to add a lot of flavor. How can we grow a lot of spring onions at home when we bring them from market? What we do is usually we use the top part of, the green part of the spring onion, and we will throw the remaining part in the bin. Now, how can we use that so that we can have a lot of spring onions when we want to use it? The first thing I normally do is whenever I cut the spring onions and I know that I do not need the bottom part, there is always roots in the bottom part of spring onions if you have noticed that. Now what I'll do is after I chop this and separate the bottom part, I will put it in a cup which has a little bit of water, and I'll keep the remaining part of the spring onion that I'm not using in that water in a way that the roots are in the water, and the water has to be very little. You just want to keep the roots moist for a couple of hours. So 5-6 hours is more than enough. And then what you can do is, actually I had a box and I did not wanted to throw it, so I just made a couple of holes in the box, and then I made a very good soil mixture. Now the perfect soil mixture according to me is a loose potting mix so that the roots can penetrate inside the soil very easily. A lot of compost, organic compost, so that it gives a lot of N, P and K, that is nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus to the plant for a good growth. A lot of nutrient which the plants will get from this compost. And I will always add a little bit of bone meal, because bone meal helps the plant to get a lot of phosphorus, and phosphorus pushes the plant for a lot of new growth. And this is all organic. I have not added any chemicals in this. Now after my soil mixture is ready, what I'll do is I'll just put these spring onions one by one in the box, and I'll just water it gently a little bit so that the roots are moist, the soil is moist. I will not overwater and make the soil extremely wet. I have kept this box of spring onions in full sun along with other vegetables that I have grown. If you look at this vegetable garden bed, one of the videos I've made on vegetable garden bed, and now it's full with different vegetables like coriander, parsley, celery, lettuce, spinach, mint leaves and whatnot. Keeping these vegetables in a place where they get full sun, and they also get rainwater if it is raining, and if it's not raining then you need to check the soil. You only water these vegetables when the soil is dry. Vegetables will need a lot of water compared to the other indoor plants, so you have to make sure that you keep on checking them regularly. Vegetables like spring onions are very easy to grow. They do not need any care, they do not need any chemical fertilizer, or they do not need any pesticide, because they will never get pest attack. In fact, I grow spring onions sometimes with other flowers and plants that I grow, because spring onion is one of those plants which will help to keep the pests away. So even if you don't grow spring onions because you don't eat them, you might grow spring onions in few places around your garden where you have a lot of other vegetables, or you have some flowers and you want to keep the pests away from them. You can grow spring onions in those cases along these good plants. A very easy vegetable to grow. Cut the top part of the spring onion and use it as much as you want in your vegetables that you cook. It will give a lot of good flavor. And just keep few points in mind that this soil mixture has to be loose, has to have some compost. Keep this vegetable in full sun if possible. Water only if required. Do not overwater, otherwise this vegetable will dry. And trust me, this is one of those vegetables that you can start growing if you want to get into vegetable gardening, because it will give you a lot of motivation as it does not require any maintenance. I hope you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed every bit of growing spring onions. Do grow them, do consume them in your diet, because it is good for your immune system as well. And I'll see you soon in the next video next time with another garden tip or another plant care. And take care of yourselves by then, and see you next time.